Crypto ETNs are now officially live in the UK for retail investors. After delays in a confusing period where the ban was technically lifted, but no products were actually available, the rollouts finally started to happen. As of right now, some of the world's biggest asset managers, including BlackRock and Bitwise, have listed their Bitcoin and Ethereum products on the London Stock Exchange. This is a significant step forward for UK investors. But the story, of course, isn't that simple. Which platforms are actually offering them? Why is the UK's largest retail investment platform refusing to sell them? And more importantly, what's the tax catch hiding in the government's own policy that could turn you into a forced seller? In this video, we're going to break down what's actually happening, where you might be able to buy these products, and the major risks you need to be aware of. As always, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Just a quick reminder that nothing contained in this video is financial advice, and let's jump straight in. Firstly, as a quick reminder for anyone who missed the last videos I did on crypto ETNs in the UK, what is a crypto ETN? Well, an ETN stands for Exchange Traded Note, and unlike an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund and which holds the underlying asset, an ETN is an unsecured debt security, so it's a promise from an issuer to pay you the return of an asset. It's designed to track the price without you having to buy the asset itself. That's why it's all about trust and price exposure, not ownership, because you don't own the digital assets, in this case yourself. However, crypto ETNs in the UK are a bit different because they must be physically backed by the underlying digital asset, in this case Bitcoin and Ethereum, and at least 90% of the crypto assets must be held in cold storage, with these extracts coming from the London Stock Exchange's Crypto ETN fact sheet, by the way. And you'll see this with the individual providers' crypto ETPs also, like this one from Bitwise. And an ETP, by the way, is an exchange traded product, which is the overriding term here, rather than the specific term of ETN or ETF. And there are many UK crypto ETNs which have entered the space. For example, the 4 Bitwise products you can see here: iShares, or BlackRock's Bitcoin ETP, CoinShares Bitcoin and Ethereum ETNs, 21 shares for crypto ETPs that are available to UK retail investors, WisdomTree, etc., and some that are on the London Stock Exchange but are still only available to professional investors to begin with. But we can expect more of these to appear and to become available, with the inevitable competition for fees that will ensue, as we saw in the US when ETFs were first introduced. So the products are listed on the London Stock Exchange. And does that mean you can just quickly add them into your ISA or your SIP? Well, no. This has created a clear divide between different platforms. The UK's largest retail investment platform, Hargreaves Lansdown, has confirmed they won't be offering crypto ETNs to customers to begin with, aiming for early 2026. In a statement, they said, "We do not believe it is an asset class." They argued the high volatility and lack of a long-term track record make them unsuitable for their clients. However, other platforms like Trading 212 and Saxo have confirmed that they are offering these new crypto ETNs, with some people having a few issues with other brokers, like AJ Bell, who don't seem quite ready for this yet, and interactive investors, with some stating they've been successful, but others with just smaller amounts invested. A lot of platforms are still considering it, or are implementing them slowly, for example by allowing the trading of crypto ETNs, but not allowing them in ISAs for the time being. But if you've been able to use a broker for this, it would be a big help to others if you added a comment in the description of this video with the platform and what you're able to trade, and if it was possible to add into an ISA, because this will be changing all of the time. So it's great to have a community here at Coin Knowledge where people can share and learn from each other. And given that UK crypto ETNs are traded on the London Stock Exchange, you would need to use one of these brokers to trade them. However, most people will want to look for providers who offer exposure to these in tax-efficient ISAs or SIPs. But even with this, there are hurdles, because the FCA has classified these as restricted mass market investments. You can't just click buy. You have to go through an appropriateness assessment, basically a questionnaire to prove you understand the risks. There should be a cooling off period, risk warnings, and no incentives to invest. The FCA is clear that Because these are restricted mass market investments, they're not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme or FSCS. So if the ETN provider goes bust, your money isn't protected. So despite these hurdles, why are UK crypto ETNs a big deal? Well, a report by IG is projecting this move could spark 20% growth in the UK's digital asset market. And the main reason for that is the tax wrapper and the large subsequent adoption due to this. The government has confirmed that these new crypto ETNs can be held in a stocks and shares ISA. And for many people, this is an advantage that they were waiting for. It means you can currently invest up to £20,000 to get exposure to the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum. And any profits you make could be completely free from capital gains tax, rather than have to pay the increased capital gains tax rates. This creates a new enticing alternative for UK retail investors. Before this, if you wanted tax-free proxy exposure to Bitcoin's price, your main option was to try to buy shares in a company that holds Bitcoin on its balance sheet and hold these shares in your ISA or SIP. Now you have a choice. Do you buy shares in a company that holds Bitcoin, or do you buy a simple low-cost ETN that just tracks the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum? For simple tax-efficient exposure, these new ETNs are a big development, but there is a catch. And this is something that a lot of people aren't aware of and might get overlooked. If you look at the official HMRC policy paper on crypto ETNs, it confirms that crypto ETNs are eligible for inclusion in stocks and shares ISAs. But then it says that from April the 6th, 2026, the government plans to reclassify these products. They'll no longer be eligible for a stocks and shares ISA. Instead, they'll become qualifying investments for the Innovative Finance ISA, or IFISA. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you buy a crypto ETN in your stocks and shares ISA today, in 2026, your platform will have to move it to an IFISA account. But the problem is that most ISA providers in the UK don't currently offer an IFISA. So this creates a difficult scenario. If your provider, let's say Trading 212, doesn't have an IFISA product ready by April 2026, or they can't support the transfer of that asset, what happens? Well, you could become a forced seller. This doesn't mean you'd suddenly get a tax bill if it's held in an ISA, but it does mean your ISA provider would be forced to sell your crypto ETN, converting your investment back to cash, potentially at a time you didn't want it to, because you'd lose your position and your exposure to the asset, which undermines the long-term buy and hold strategy. So it might be worth waiting until April 2026 to see which providers actually offer this to avoid any issues. But hopefully the transition's smooth, and obviously everyone has to make their own decisions. Let's now look at the difference between exposure and ownership. Opening up crypto ETNs to retail investors is obviously a positive step forward. It gives UK investors a regulated, accessible, and for now, tax-efficient way to get price exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And for many people, that's a great option to have. But we have to look at the difference between exposure and ownership. When you buy a crypto ETN, you don't own the underlying Bitcoin. You own a security, a promise from an issuer that they'll track the price. You're trusting them to securely hold the crypto and honor that promise. And this is a prime example of counterparty risk. You don't hold the keys, they do. The whole point of holding your own crypto in cold storage in a hardware wallet like a Trezor is to remove the need to trust any third party and to ensure financial sovereignty. And I did a review and an unboxing of the Trezor Safe 5 hardware wallet that you can find a link to here and in the description. Linked with that, securing your seed phrase is the next crucial step. And we're pleased to have partnered with the leading and best-selling storage company for that, CryptoTag. And I recently did a review of the CryptoTag Zeus model, which you can find a link to above and in the description of this video. So to summarize, crypto ETNs in an ISA are a great tool for tax-efficient price exposure to cryptocurrencies on offer. However, they're not and will never be a replacement for self-custody. But that ends this video, and as always, we'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Is this a game changer for UK investors? Or are you going to wait to see what happens in this space for a few months, particularly until after April 2026. Just a reminder that I do offer one-to-one coaching to those who are genuinely interested in educating themselves in the crypto space. And there are links in the description of this video where you can contact me and book in a free video call to see if we'd be a good fit. If you're looking for an easy way to track and stay on top of your crypto investments, you can check out CoinStats, which is the leading cryptocurrency portfolio tracker. And you can find a link to their official website in the description of this video. There's also Coinly, which is one of the best automated crypto tax platforms out there. And you can sign up for a free account using the link provided in the video description. If you're looking for more personalized support with your crypto taxes, Miner, a part of the Nephos Group, is one of the leading UK crypto accountancy firms around that provides expert crypto tax advice, as well as other services such as wealth management, restructuring, and offshoring. And you'll find a link to contact them directly in the description of this video if you'd like tailored support with your taxes. And for our US viewers, there's a link in the description to contact Crypto Tax Audit, a leading crypto tax company in the United States. So if you need any help with your crypto tax planning, definitely check them out. If you found this content useful, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.